Hi friends, Ultra Mega Sloth here with another Hearthstone video for you. In this video I'm going to go over why this is such a great time to return to Hearthstone or start playing Hearthstone for the first time. I'm going to talk about some of the new things we can expect to see in the Rise of Shadows, and then I'm going to go over some of the new cards, talk about some of their lore as it relates to World of Warcraft, and possibly the viability in play. So let's get into it. With the new expansion, Rise of Shadows, coming out in just days, Hearthstone will be getting a whole new set of villains and heroes centered around the floating city of Dalaran. Now, if you were a longtime World of Warcraft or Warcraft 3 player, you will most certainly remember Dalaran and many of its inhabitants. But why is this a better time to return to Hearthstone more than any other expansion? Well, with the introduction of Rise of Shadows, we will say goodbye to 3 other expansions from standard play: Kobolds and Catacombs, Knights of the Frozen Throne, and Journey to Ungoro. In addition, some cards will be leaving for the Hall of Fame, such as the odd-even deck-enhancing cards Genn Greymane and Baku the Moon Eater. But if there are less cards, that's bad, right? Well, not exactly. If you haven't played for a year or so, you might not have experienced what some called a predictable and pigeonholed meta, or some deck archetypes so powerful that you would put yourself at a disadvantage in ranked play by not using them. So naturally, this left some players feeling as though they could not branch out and make more creative and fun decks while still being competitive. Blizzard has since addressed some of these issues, such as overpowered cards, and claimed they'll be creating Hearthstone with less single cards that wield so much power. Also, this is why Genn and Baku are heading for the Hall of Fame. So there will undoubtedly be a whole new meta to spawn from this new card pool, which is very exciting. In addition, the arena will now have some more flavor to it, with Blizzard rotating in and out old and new expansions. There are also some amazing new mechanics coming to the new expansion, which will make for some interesting gameplay. First, we have a new card type called Lackeys. Lackeys are 1-cost 1/1 generated minions. They have a useful battle cry that will in turn give additional value. Next, we have Schemes. Schemes are spells that will increase in power the longer they remain in your hand. Similar to the spellstones of Kobolds and Catacombs, Schemes are spells that will change in your hand but do not require anything except waiting additional turns. This will give players some interesting decisions to make by having a more flexible spell in their hand. And finally, we have the new keyword Twin Spell. If you cast a spell that has Twin Spell on it, a copy of that spell will be added to your hand, of course without the keyword, so you'll have another chance to cast that. I think the theme of this expansion is great, and I think it's really cool that they're kind of forming their own universe, while still incorporating a lot of the Warcraft universe lesser known characters and bringing them to life. I'm just going to go over a few cards that have been revealed and caught my eyes because I thought they were cool. So the first card that caught my eye was the Exotic Mount Seller. It's a 7-cost minion that's a 5/8, and whenever you cast a spell, it summons a random 3-cost beast. This is a rare card, so it's likely that you'll get this card in a pack. The thing that's cool about this is you can see her outfit, and it's clearly the same that it was in World of Warcraft. Her name in World of Warcraft was May Francis. You might remember her for selling exotic mounts. She sold the Woolly Mammoth, she sold the Armored Brown Bear, among other mounts, and she was kind of sitting next to the flight path, the entrance to the flight path, so you often saw her. I think that's pretty cool that they brought her into Hearthstone finally. The next card I want to look at is this cool, like, crystal looking tree ent called Lucent Bark. Now, this is a druid card. It's an 8-cost minion that is a 4/8 with taunt, and it has the death rattle, goes dormant, restore 5 health to awaken this minion. Now, that's not so hard, especially because they made a card in the new expansion that will restore 5 health for druids. So you could potentially use this offensively and sacrifice it, and then it goes dormant, and then you could, restore health and immediately bring it back. Seems like a pretty flexible card. Okay, the next card I want to talk about is Archmage Vargoth. Now, if you played World of Warcraft, you would have definitely recognized this name, because there was a quest chain and you got the staff of Archmage Vargoth and you could summon him, and I remember if you did certain emotes around him, he would respond in funny ways. Whenever you were sitting in town, people were always summoning his image, so it's funny that they added him to Hearthstone finally. But he's a 4-cost minion, he's a legendary minion, 2/6, at the end of your turn, cast a spell you've cast this turn, and targets are random. So I think we're going to see this a lot in play because it's a low cost minion. It's got spell synergy. It seems like it'll probably have a lot of applications. You know, if you've got a spell that can only target you or only benefit you, then it's going to be a super awesome card to play. All right, the next card that caught my eye was the Underbelly Fence. This is a rogue card. It's a 2-cost 2/3 that has a battle cry. If you're holding a card from another class, gain +1/+1 and rush. Now, this kind of seems like it's going to be really good synergy for thief rogues. But aside from that, it's referencing the Underbelly, which is the sewers of Dalaran, where you could find special vendors and unique things. So I thought that was kind of cool. All right, the next one that caught my eye was Katrina Muerte. Now, Katrina Muerte was a kind of obscure character in World of Warcraft. She could be found in Dalaran during the Day of the Dead holiday. And if you were undead and danced with her, the original tavern music from Brill would play. So yeah, she was not a very big character in it, but I think it's cool that they kind of bring her into Hearthstone and like make her more of an interesting character. But she's an 8-cost minion. This is 6/8. At the end of your turn, summon a friendly minion that died this game. So this card is a significantly less powerful version of Kel'Thuzad. Kel'Thuzad was an 8-cost 6/8 who would summon all friendly minions that died this turn. Katrina Muerte is similar. She summons one friendly minion that died this game. It's not necessarily the same turn, but I can see a lot of useful applications for that. Okay, next I want to talk about the card Duel. If you played World of Warcraft, you probably dueled quite a bit. I think it's cool that they add cards like this to paladins, like Level Up and Duel, that are kind of like breaking the fourth wall somewhat. It's a 5-cost card that summons a minion from each player's deck and they fight. Now, I can see a lot of mana cheating aspects for this. If you are running a paladin deck and you have some big minions, you could use this to summon a big minion if you have a deck with only big minions. Of course, you kind of have to rely on spells for the rest of your deck, but I think there could be some cool applications for that. Next card I want to talk about, it's so cool, is Kalecgos. Kalecgos was a really awesome character in my opinion. You saw a lot of him during Cataclysm expansion. He is the blue dragon aspect who replaced Malygos after Malygos went insane and was defeated by heroes at the Eye of Eternity. So Kalecgos is a 10-cost minion. That's a 4/12, much like the other dragon aspects. And your first spell each turn costs 0. And the battle cry is discover a spell. So he comes with a free spell, and the first spell you play each turn costs 0. So this is going to be a tough minion to remove, but you're guaranteed one free spell. So it's a lot of value. You're playing a 4/12, 10-cost minion, but you get a free spell. So you're playing a minion and a spell guaranteed, and then the next turn, if it survives, you've got another free spell. So I can see this card could get out of control, but again, it doesn't seem overpowered. It seems pretty balanced. And the next card I want to talk about is Unleash the Beast. This is a hunter card, and this is one of the twin spell cards. This card is a 6-cost spell that has twin spell, and it summons a 5/5 wyvern with rush. Now this is cool because in conjunction with cards such as Marked Shot, where it deals 4 damage to minion and discovers spell, you can discover this spell and get so much value out of it. It just makes it so you don't have to have so many minions in your deck. You can get minion value through your spells. So I thought that's pretty cool. Hey, thanks for watching. By the way, I stream on Twitch. You can find me at twitch.tv/ultramegasloth. And if you like this video, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe for some more Hearthstone content. See you later.